Hello, my loves. Please ignore the absolute state of me. I think this video has taken me far too long to create, purely because for a while I haven't really known where to begin. I've kind of written a guideline as I often struggle to speak consecutive sentences, honestly. I just wanted to give you kind of an understanding of the last few years. Anybody that's kind of been watching or following my journey, I know that, I released a record not long ago, my re-debut record that I can't thank enough for the love for. However, the vocals were actually recorded pre what I'm about to talk about. So I just wanted to clarify that before anything. And also forgive me if I get a little upset, because it's a tricky subject. I'll start by introducing myself. I'm Lou Blissett. Some of you might know me as Lou Bliss, or even as Louis Blissett from my earlier years. For those who have been with me on this journey, you might remember when I first went viral in 2018. I was a teenager uploading covers from my bedroom, sharing my love for music. I poured my heart into songs like No Tears Left to Cry and Billie Eilish's I Don't Want to Be You Anymore. And truly from the bottom of my heart, I never could have imagined how much those covers would change my life, an effect on so many people. Even to this day, I can't fully grasp that. Yeah, I never could have imagined how it would change my life. They opened doors I didn't even know existed, coming from such a small town and, honestly a place where nothing good really ever happens. Doors that led me to sign with Atlantic Records UK and release my first singles, Sick Thoughts and Killing Butterflies. For a while, I felt like I was living my dream. I think there was a lot of imposter syndrome, which led to other issues that I'm not going to go into for now. But life didn't, and doesn't always go as planned. By 2020, during the pandemic, I was very mentally unwell, very mentally unstable. I had a lot going on with my family that I couldn't process. I couldn't continue my work at the time. I needed a lot of self-evaluation with, the way that I was acting, the behavior that I was exhibiting, and it being so far from everything I agree with, everything that makes up the fiber of my being. When I was dropped by my label, the world stopped, and so did I. I fell into a very dark place, struggling with my identity, my self-worth, and an eating disorder that consumed me, and still, I'm working on it. Again, I'm not saying that for sympathy, it's just to give you kind of an understanding. For 4 years, I stepped away from music to try and find myself again. Those years were definitely some of the hardest, but they also taught me a lot about who I am and gave me kind of the tools to figure out why I had became the way that I was. In 2020, as part of my recovery journey, I began my transition, something I dreamed of for as long as I could ever remember, but truly I never thought possible, nor would I ever have the resources, and I also just did not think I had it in me. I think a lot of people think that this is a trend. I don't know if you guys remember, but there were some signs. I digress. In 2023, I underwent facial feminization surgery as I went through male puberty, which meant that a lot of damage, at least in my eyes, had been done that was kind of irreversible at the time. And so, I underwent facial feminization surgery. And it was a massive milestone for me, and a moment I hoped would bring me closer to feeling at peace in my own skin, which is what we all want. And truly, I couldn't have been happier, despite, everything else in my life. But during the surgery, something went terribly wrong. I was promised that with any operations, there would be no effect on my voice. It was something that I was very persistent about in pre-meetings, that I needed my vocal cords to be protected. Unfortunately, the surgeon was very negligent in their approach, and I suffered a extremely rare complication. I suffered a vocal injury during the procedure, an injury that left me with what's called a glottic gap and missing tissue at the anterior commissure. So to put it simply, my vocal cords don't close properly anymore, and they can't stretch in the way that's needed for me to sing, despite months of training and vocal therapy. And I mean, this year and a half has been persistent. I know if anyone's been kind of following my journey on Instagram earlier in these years, you know how much I was going on about it. But I think you also saw in the videos I did try to post quite how much my voice had changed. And I think, me being in denial at that, because singing has always come as naturally to me as breathing, and I couldn't accept that the one outlet I had and I've always had throughout my life, no matter what has happened, was taken away from me. I just thought, oh, another month of healing. Unfortunately, the people who did this surgery do not want to take any responsibility whatsoever. Despite not being able to sing properly or really at all professionally, I also struggled to speak. I don't know if you can tell kind of how much this is taking even from a simple sentence, but I can't articulate myself with speech. I can't go higher and lower. It's so monotone all the time. I can't laugh properly with my friends. I can't shout. I can't raise my voice. It's genuinely excruciating. And as you guys know, singing has always been more than just a talent or career for me. It's my way of expressing myself, my way of processing emotions, my way of connecting with others. Losing that feels like losing a piece of myself. Over the last few years, I've consulted with countless specialists, and all I've really been recommended is speech therapy, which is something that I've been doing. However, my ENT and voice specialist has made it very clear that this is a surgical intervention that needs to be done. The good news is that there is hope. With targeted surgery, therapy, and time, my voice could be repaired. I could sing again, which I think I've got to a point in my mind where I'm just like, oh, it's not possible. My life is somewhat over. And I'm not saying this to be a martyr or a victim. When you put all your eggs in one basket and you really only feel like one thing is meant for you, and you've grown with this has been a part of you forever, it's soul crushing. It really is. But yeah, I could find my way back to the thing that's always made me feel whole. The bad news, however, is this kind of treatment isn't covered by any insurance, and the costs are overwhelming. Traveling to the US alone for the surgery, covering the medical expenses, and completing the post-surgery therapy will require far more than I can afford alone. I've very much hesitated sharing this with you. I've wondered if my struggle mattered in the grand scheme of things, because the truth is, the world right now is an absolute shit show. There are far more important causes that need attention. I'm one in fucking, 8 billion, But I realize that it's, okay to ask for help when I don't really know where else to turn to, if I'm completely honest. And that's why I'm here today. For those who have followed my journey, whether it's through my covers, my debut singles, my comeback with Unregulated, you know how much I poured my soul into my music. And I think we haven't even scratched the iceberg of what I want to do, what I want to create, the story that I want to tell. You've been there for me through the highs and the lows, and I cannot thank you enough for that. To anyone watching this who might not know me, I hope my story shows you how deeply I care about what I do. Music isn't just my job, it's my life. The language that I speak, not to sound unbelievably cringy. The surgery could give me my voice back, both literally and figuratively. It could bring back the joy, the passion, and the connection that I've been missing for so long. But much less than that, truly just improve my day-to-day quality of life. Whether it's a donation, sharing this video, or simply sending good energy my way, your support means more to me than words can ever express. Thank you for listening to my story. Thank you for believing in me. And thank you for giving me hope that one day I'll be able to sing for you again. With all the love in my heart, thank you for listening. Truly. Love you.